You're welcome back. It's still Daybreak here on Trust TV, and you are welcome to our phone-in segment where you get to have your say on the show this morning. Now, today we're discussing the critical topic, the self-defense debate, protective rights or a problematic response. Nigeria is grappling with insecurity in many parts of the country, including Benue, Borno, Zamfara, Katsina, and Plateau, where killings, kidnappings, and banditry have become a recurring nightmare. The recent proposal by the Chief of Army Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the Director General of the Department of State Service, Adeola Oluwatosi Ajayi, for community-led self-defense in Benue State has sparked a national conversation. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria has backed this proposal, citing the success of similar roles and models in Borno State. They argue that empowering communities to take responsibility for their defense could be the game-changing approach needed to address the persistent killings and displacement of innocent Nigerians. As we explore this topic now, let's consider the complexity. On one hand, community self-defense could empower locals to protect themselves and provide critical intelligence to security agencies. And on the other hand, it raises concerns about accountability, human rights, and potential vigilantism. So we'll be taking your calls and let's discuss this. Do you think community self-defense is a necessary solution to address the insecurity in Nigeria, or does it pose more risk than benefits? Share your thoughts, call in. Let's hear what you have to say. The numbers and the question will be displayed on your screen shortly. Also, don't forget that you could send us messages on WhatsApp and we'll be here to take them. So if they were to ask you, would you join our community policing to protect the community? Would you take up arms and join this, union that we're creating to protect the community? Would you do that? Do you think is the way forward for Nigeria, for Benue, for Zamfara, for Katsina, for Plateau at this point in time with how it's going? That's just basically it, I believe. What's the way forward? How could it work?
And sometimes you would say desperate times call for desperate measures. We have our first caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Ismail from Lagos.
All right, good morning, Ismail. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. What is your take on this issue?
Good morning, you guys are looking very nice.
All right, thank
you. The topic self-defense debate protective right on problematic response. As a matter of fact, this is a way forward. Because a lot of attacks happen before the security personnel visit the scene. A lot of disaster already have been carried out. So if the community are responsible for their own safety and they have enough weapons to defend themselves, even the attackers will be afraid to come near to the community. Because the attackers know that yes, the community have no strategic self-defense for themselves. So definitely they are free to come in at any time. I once spoke with a man in Zamfara State, a friend. He was telling me a scenario that the bandits were coming to their community. And luckily the governor tried his best and made sure some of the communities have some weapons, at least to defend themselves. So there is a particular point they come and block the road to the community. Whoever is coming out, they kind of slaughter some people, they do then collected whatever is their belonging. So they now plan their vigilantes in those strategic places without the attackers knowing. So when they come, before you know, they apprehend them. If they don't have those weapons, they will never achieve that. So led to me, to my own personal perspective, is a way forward. And whatsoever has advantage surely has disadvantage. We just say that it shouldn't, and the government has to put a policy that those weapons will be judiciously used and will not be misused. Because that is one of the fears of this policy. So may God protect our country, and may God bless Nigeria, and may God bless TVC.
Trust TV, sir. All right. It's Trust TV. Well, he mentioned, I like the fact that he mentioned the pros and cons.
Absolutely.
And like we said earlier, what are the risks surrounding this? Aside that, if you are telling them to protect themselves, what kind of weapons would they be given? We had Dr. Theophilus Abba who gave a breakdown of it yesterday. He said an ammunition cost, an AK-47 cost at least 900,000. aside a bullet that cost 800
so who
naira.
is going to be
who's going to provide it? Would you provide it properly for them? We have the next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Good morning. My name is Ade. I'm calling from London.
Good morning, Ade. Thank you for joining us all the way from London.
My pleasure. I concur with the first caller. Everything is fair. I agree with him, 100%. In the Borno, they have civilian JTF and helps the military a lot because they can identify those Boko Haram boys. So in this Benue, they should have civilian JTF, all those retired military officers who are still okay, and some young youths that are okay. Let the military train them and turn them to civilian JTF, and the government should put them on salary allowance monthly so that they can help. They know the nook and crannies of their city. So they can, once the invaders realize that there's a civilian JTF there, they will run. But because they know that civilians are sleeping, they don't have any ammunition, they just go and kill them like they kill chicken. But once they can establish that one, that will help the community. So it's their own protective right. It's not problematic at all. So I agree with the self-defense for the community. That is better than individual harming themselves and defending themselves. That's dangerous because in Nigeria we have anger issues. Anything can trigger people. But when it's a community, they will have a leader. It's like a private police, like they have in the Borno, civilian JTF. And it really works. So let's have similarity in Benue, where this killing are born and play to, so that they can defend the community people there. Because when somebody says he lost 20 people among his family, I mean, we are talking about human being, human life. This thing, it is when you are affected that you can know the pain, what it means. Which means they have slaughtered governors to be, doctors to be, president to be, whatever, just because of animal. Can you imagine? So I agree with that the first caller that's what we need now. And God will protect everybody, protect our troops in Nigeria, and God will bless Nigeria. Good morning.
All right, good morning. And thank you for that. You know, he made a point where he said training them and arming them as well. But then at the end of the day, when you look at it, it might be something positive because, as they said, they've done this in Borno and at a point in Zamfara State as well. But then the question is, if that is an option, the other option is maybe arming the people. And as he said, a human being is volatile, and if they don't know how to, conduct themselves, that in itself might create some other situation that is not agreeable. We have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Chijioke. I'm calling from Suka in Enugu State.
Good morning,
Good morning, Chijioke. Thank you for joining us. What is your take on this issue?
Thank you. Well, the topic of discussion this morning, I don't think is even debatable. The issue of self-defense is a protective right of every Nigerian. I don't know why the people in government seem to be so insensitive about the lives of the people they are meant to protect. It's not only in Benue. It's just that the issue in Benue has been placed on the national limelight. Even in Enugu State, the situation is not different. If you come to Ozo1 local government in Enugu State, issues of local government, and some parts of Osoka Self, the issue is the same. This wanton killing and destruction of lives and properties, it has become a daily issue. What are we talking about? The issue of self-defense should be the protective right of the individual and communities. Because the issue of how much an AK-47 costs or how much the bullet costs, let the people figure it out themselves on how to protect themselves. And I'm sure they are equal to the task. The issue is that when you revert to self-help, the law, like they say, is an ass, will come after you, that you are not licensed to carry arms, to bear ammunition, and stuff like that. And every day, lives are being lost. Lives are being lost. And I wonder the kind of people that are in this government, whether they are still human beings, whether blood still flows in their veins. Every day you wake up and the people you are supposed to protect are dying in their tens of hundreds and thousands, and you don't really care. It doesn't mean anything to you. You say is whatever term they target, yet people are dying. We have the police, we have the army, we have DSS, we have civil defense, we have vigilantes, we have all manner of security apparatuses in this country. Yet people are dying. Do we really have a country? Do we really have a government? It is so sad, and I weep for this country, honestly, because the thing has gotten to the point where people should be allowed to bear arms. Everybody, if you can afford it, go get it and protect yourself, because people can't just be waiting to be slaughtered like sheep and goat and nothing happens, and it becomes a daily routine. And we say we have a government. I mean, it is so sad, so sad that where we found ourselves and we still claim to have a government. No, we don't. I don't think we do. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Chijoke. You know, but that part of everybody should have a gun. You might just annoy your neighbor and just, you know, let it out on you there at the end of the day. But like Ade said, he said that, you know, people are quite, you mentioned that volatile. Nigerians have a temper. We won't even lie about it. Nigerians have a temper that comes with it. But with them, but in as much as we're talking about this, does this mean that the role of the government has failed in its responsibility to protect lives and properties, that it is now leaving the citizens to protect itself?
And it is not willing to do anything about it.
Exactly. Let's hear from the next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Good morning, Lilian Ogazi. Good morning, Hauwa. This is Shetima Kudima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima.
Good morning, Shetima. Thank you for calling us. What is your take on this issue?
Honestly speaking, whoever was saying self-defense can be a problem. He's just misleading people, because we have everything here and we see the results. When we have been killing in our own town, people hijack some areas and they make us restrict not to follow that area. In 2013, when our people say enough is enough, we don't have AK-47. We use our stick, cutlasses, and knives. We troop into the area of this called Boko Haram, and we defeat them with their AK-47 and everything. We have dragged them, we defeat them. Oh, people, look, Lilian, life is one. And a tree of liberty can only be watered by life and blood for the common generation to enjoy the shelter. If you stay at home, these people, they will finish with you. These people, they will finish with you. They will come to your home and slaughter you. What are you saying? Go out and attack them. And the only manner and way that you can defeat insurgencies by counter-insurgencies. You stop them, follow them anywhere they are, pitch them out, kill them. And all these rules that Western world bring, rule of engagement, blah, blah, put them aside. People are killing people. What are you doing with them? They say that we should reserve them by give them pardon and blah, 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 amnesty. Forget about all that. If this one is a killer, and you have established that he's a killer, he deserves to just kill. What are you fighting him for? So the only thing that I can tell to my brothers and sisters in Benue, they should adopt what we do in Maiduguri here. In 2013, no child, no male, no female, no lady, we all come out and we attack them and we defeat them. We just push them to the bush. Let them go and stay there. And our youth, Lilian, we used to follow them into the bush. Unless one later come from security agencies and stop us from this. That's why we lack and we protect Maiduguri. And today, I am telling you, the town that Boko Haram fear most is Maiduguri. Whatever you give them, they cannot come into Maiduguri and do something. They cannot. I'm saying this. And whenever they come as a corps. We will finish with them. I'm assuring you this. So if people they should not fear death. If you fear death, they will kill you in your own house. People doesn't have mercy. They don't know God. What they're after is to kill people and create chaos. So we should fight them back. We forget about all these rule engagement, blah blah and whatsoever. This thing is happening in the Western world. This is Africa, this is Nigeria. So we have to fight them. We have to fight them. As all we want to see a solution. We just have to forget about luxury of gold. Life is one, as I said earlier. You will not be consulted when this life will go. So you have to come out to protect yourself. And I am praying for maximum peace in the whole Nigeria and the whole our town. And may Allah accuse and finish with these useless people, bandits, Boko Haram, whatever they call themselves. This is our wicked people. Have a nice day and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shetima.
All right, thank you so much, Shetima. He made a couple of points that he's been at he has experience of these kind of issues, and he made a point that you do not have to have sophisticated weapons for you to fight for yourself, to fight for your rights, to fight for, your children and your property as well. So with that, he noted that you just need courage and will to fight that and come out in numbers as well. And I believe it's a numbers game, even if they do have more sophisticated weapons. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Dr. Suleiman Shai. I'm calling you from Kano.
Good morning, doctor. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Self-defense, protective right or problematic response. I like the heading. Honestly, it's very sad that the government that is supposed to be responsible for the protection of life and properties, by this action, what one can simply say, and in summary, is that the government have failed. Legalizing people to take up arms for self-defense, let me say in other parts of the country, it is already happening. In some states, particularly in the northwestern part of this country that I am aware, communities have lost hope. They had to take arms to protect themselves against invasion of these criminals. But like engineers will tell you, when you solve a particular problem, you are invariably creating another problem that we will call for solution. Who are we giving these arms? People that have no basic means of livelihood, you give them arms. What are we thinking? What is going to come out of that? The essence of defending community, are we not thinking is not going to result in another problem that we will all be cracking our head in finding solution to? But like I have said, formally or informally, you are aware everywhere you go in Nigeria now, people are even paying for their private security. People are hiring vigilantes, civil defense in some parts of the country. You pay for private security. For heaven's sake, and our own elite and the ruling class are busy commissioning projects that doesn't touch the lives of the masses. What a priority misplacement. As much as it is good for us to defend our community, my reason for calling is to ensure that the people that we are going to give this formal permission to will be people that have the basic needs of their livelihood, so that at the end of the day, they will not use that arms for their own personal survival against the lives of others that they are expected to do, either in their communities or other communities. And most that affect is the if government cannot do anything, if government do anything, they must not fail in the protection of lives and properties of the citizens. If this is missing, then absolutely, without any inclination, we are saying the government have failed and they should be ashamed of themselves and they should not come back and ask the masses to give them second chance. Because the essence of governance, first and foremost, is to protect the lives and properties of the citizens. Without that, nothing. I thank you, Trust TV, for bringing up this matter for discussion. I pray God in His mercy is going to safeguard and save this nation from unnecessary invasion internally or externally. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
thank
Doctor.
you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sneeman. He made a couple of points whereby, okay, if the people are now burdened with defending themselves, their lives and their properties, will they give a chance again to the government? The government has to work harder for them to make sure that they make a good impression on the people, so that they can have faith and trust in them, that they would, make sure that they are covered.
I think I like the points where he made, saying what kind of people will be handling these weapons.
Absolutely.
That's a very salient point that needs to also, we have to understand how those who will be in charge of it will be evaluated and, screened. But let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, Auntie. I'm Daniel calling from Jalingo.
Good morning. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Sorry, first of all, your co-presenter, I don't know her name. Good morning to her too.
Good morning, I am Hauwa.
Thank you very much, Hauwa.
All right.
You see, this issue of self-defense, I have just one point to add up to what everything I've said. It's not about individualistic matter that we're telling Nigerians everybody should buy a gun or that. No. Is at the community level is the best for government to give go ahead. See, I did that we have this kind of government or the system we're having now during the reign of Usman Dan Fodio. The whole some community in those days gang up and resist that movement in those days. That will tell you the unity. It's not every community that Osman Dan Fodio fought and won. It's not all community. Go through the history, you check. There are a lot of communities that because of their collaborative efforts, they resist that movement in those days. And it works for them. In the Western world, the states have their securities. But when it comes to national issue, they now send representatives to come and make up what we call National Guard. And it works for them properly. Back to their community, their security are doing very well. So my take here is that the government should look back to this local government autonomy we are talking of. We are not looking at only tiling roads, providing good water. No, the security. Hand over one or two things for the local government chairman and see wonder. You will see results. This nonsense will not happen. You will see results. It will not happen. In a community, I grew up in a community in those days where if you steal a palm kernel or if you steal orange from somebody's orchard, from your back, they know that this seed belongs to so village or belongs to so somebody family. So the government should go back and liaise with the local government chairman, the community guards. They should equip them with what it takes, and they will see results. That is my take this morning.
All right. Thank you very much there for your thoughts. You know, a lot of people are sharing different opinions, you know, based on what should be expected, what should be done, how it should be carried out. A lot of questions are also being asked on how, you know, it could work. But one thing that still stands out for me, which is also toes back in line with what Doctor said, where does this leave our trust in the government when you ask people to start, you know, fighting for themselves and protecting themselves? And is it possible, with how diverse we are in Nigeria, with how we seem to disagree on the tiniest things, down to even wedding ashwebi, there is a certain level of disagreement that happens. Absolutely. Can there be a unified decision on where the limitations of community policing or self-defense should end, if this should kick off, or if this could be a possibility?
Absolutely.
Well, let's hear from the next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, Lily baby. This is Abase Kong calling from Obesi.
Good morning, Abase Kong. Thank you for joining us.
Sincerely speaking, my heart is bleeding. Yesterday, I saw a man crying on television, and we were there having a pity for him. Now, you see, when we talk about security, constantly, repeatedly, I always talk. What is security? Security is all precautionary measures taken to protect life and property. Property in the sense that the image of an organization is protected. A place is protected. The society is protected. Community is protected. State, national and international levels are protected. Look at what is happening in Iran and Israel. They arrested a man today in Iran. And this man was busy. He was arrested with AI, artificial intelligence, with equipment that monitors strategic positions that led to Israel targeting about 12 important places in Iran, destroying those places. And the man has been arrested. So what is our intelligence doing? Our intelligence gathering is 0/100. That is where we are failing. And you see, life is politics. And they have politicized everything about the security. Security has now become politicized, where people talk at term. Security is not supposed to be discussed on television, because you cannot provide solutions that will make Boko Haram to attack a place. That will make, when you provide solutions, thieves will go and do what? They will have their exit. So why do we talk security? We talk security because of threat from the enemy. We talk security because of fear. We talk security because of possible harm and losses. You'll be walking on the street, somebody collects your phone. That is why security is being discussed. But is security supposed to be discussed on the television or the radio? No. On a forum where minds will be discussed. What is security threat? Security risk is that threat from individuals. Probably you leave your home, you go somewhere before you come back, the house, carry your TV, carry your wrappers, this is security threat. There is security threat. And there are several measures of security threat. We have active security. I've been saying it about this. This encompasses soldier, police, DSS, and everybody. We also have passive security. This is where the DSS have failed us. Nigeria.
All right,
we have micro security. This is where it encompasses all bodies, including you, me, and everybody. We have micro security. This is where individuals can protect themselves. Schools, secondary school, primary school can protect themselves. We have preventive security. This is where the police itself can carry out protective measures. We have detectives. This is where thorough investigation can be carried out. But all these things have crumbled, have died down. Madam, if Trust TV is ready, I can train 2 people. What is happening in Benue State will not suffice again. Just I will not spell out this, but I will just train 2 people from Trust TV, and you see what will happen. Thank you this morning. God bless.
Thank you, Abasekong. You know, it seems you want to send us on combat, but that's fine. We'll take a couple of WhatsApp messages now, as displayed on our screen.
Absolutely. The first one that we have is from Malam Malaki from Kafanchan, Kaduna State, and he says he sees reprisal as the key to stopping these menace of attack by the terrorists. Reprisal is not a failure from government to protect us, but complementary action to support the government. Reprisal can come in different forms, individually, community-wise, or as government forming its security outfit as done by Southwest governors.
All right, indeed. Let's take a look at the second WhatsApp message we have there. But while we're waiting for that to come up on the screen, you know, what he said on reprisal, which is the same thing everybody had said, you know, talking about following up the attack, training people, and, you know, and empowering the communities to also learn to protect themselves. So we have the second WhatsApp message there.
All right, the second WhatsApp message we have is from John from here in Abuja. It says community defense in Nigeria is the way forward. The Chief of Defense declared it because we are short of security personnel in the country. The state governors should provide the funds and trained personnel that will use the arms under the supervision of the military. These criminal elements called armed herders have to be eliminated completely in every part of the country. Any governor who refuses to implement this development should be held responsible by his people.
Indeed. Well, that's much you can take on our WhatsApp messages and our calls this morning. Thank you to everyone who called in. Like I introduced earlier, we'll be doubling back on the conversation where we get to understand where the law stands. And, you know, the law will guide us this morning to understand better on self-defense. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back.